So, thank you so much, guys. Honestly, we are not going to stay for too long on this second part two of the conversation. It is important that we address these issues. There are things that are so important to us as parents. We have to see that we need to understand that God has blessed us. The fact that you even have the opportunity of looking after a child, whether your biological child or adopted child or children, it is something that we have to make sure we do. So we want to make sure that we do the right thing by our children. We want to make sure that we do the right thing even by God. I say that I am no good in any way to have a child to myself. So I think IG life has increased from an hour. No, mine was counting down. It was counting down, so I don't think it has increased from an hour yet. Yeah, but thank you, Toasting. I don't think. No, it was counting down on mine. Actually, it was. Yes, guys, it was counting. So that I had like 12 seconds or something like that. So yeah, but Grace is just joining back on. Thank you guys on Facebook as well. Thank you. Welcome back, darling. Glad to have you back. So
Yeah.
apparently, Toy and Toasting are saying that IG life has increased from an hour. If that's but it was counting down, to be honest.
Yeah, counting down, and that means
You saw it, right? So yeah. So if it has increased, maybe this will be, because it's probably like the first live I have got. We're doing in the last like 2 weeks, right? So if it's gone over an hour, that is fantastic. We can just praise God for that, because sometimes these conversations, just an hour is way too small, like for us to have it, for us to get the benefit of it. So Grace, that question that we had from Tokwe then, that she's got an 8-year-old who is very intelligent, very inquisitive, but the more she tries to let him be, the more he pushes her. How does she handle that kind of a child?
so any attention is attention. If he's already accustomed to a negative attention from you, that is what he will always be pressing for to get.
Yeah.
So now that you're trying to unlearn, because that's what he's still used to, that's what he's still trying to get off you. So it's you that would also help him in this process to actually, without me just jumping here, I think it would be good to understand a bit better when you say he's pushing you. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so
that it would be good to know what you define as pushing your buttons.
Yeah, so Tokwe, please, if you can send in the comment section what you meant by is pushing you. Is it that you tell him to do one thing and he does the other, or whatever it is? So guys, this is the time that we can ask Grace any questions. So if you send in your questions, any questions you've got, or if there are any specific challenges that you're dealing with at the moment, or things that you've dealt with in the past, and what you did to come through of those things, that you can share with us. We're here tonight to learn. Raising children is not a walk in the park, as you said earlier, Grace. It takes absolutely, God's grace is something that we can't take for granted. Do you understand? I've got 2 lovely girls, both with 2 different personalities, and it's so difficult to. I think the other day, myself and my husband were saying that, with our first, we know there are some things that we're able to get away with, because of our own personality and everything. But you see, this second, you have to be, there are some things that you need to be. And I think it's that place of awareness. You said something earlier in the part 1. You said that, we need to be observant. We need to observe our children. And this is something I need to do myself. I'm this is me now saying just airing my laundry in the old social media, whatever, but it's the truth. We need to observe. Sometimes my children, they do things And I'll be like, my God, I work in this house all day. I mean, since March, I've not been to the office. We've been working from home. And there are still some things that I still don't know about the children. Do you understand? They do some things. My 4-year-old will be talking to me. Like, she started to correct my pronunciation. And I said, see, you're a British born person. I was born in Nigeria. So the way, do you know? No, but that's the thing. All of these things they tell you, but you don't know that they will actually happen. And when they start to happen, it's like life is just going so quickly. My friend on this call now, she'll be laughing at me. She'll be like, yeah, God has caught you today. Because what? She will tell me, oh, let's take them to the park, do all of this. I say, please, you can take them. When you finish, just bring them back. It's okay. It's fine. Take them. But as parents, and it's not that I don't love them. I love them. Some of us. So this takes me to my next question.
Yeah.
So do you think that, because I feel like everyone can have a child or children, but not all can be a parent. Please, I have not read it anywhere. This is me thinking something in my head and trying to bring it out. So having a child or having children doesn't automatically make you a great parent and all of that. Do you understand? Do you believe that there are some people who naturally are not just gifted to be very, this calm tone? I'm going out, wear your shoes. If you don't want to wear, I'm coming out. Or do you think there are people who are not just graced in that area?
I think for me, that's a cop out, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just
no, it's fine. Chebi, we said that we are.
Yeah, because you, who here was born as a driver. You're born as a driver. You learned to be a driver.
Yes.
But there's nobody anywhere as a parent. Okay. So we are all learning. Now, I'm a big believer in the fact that our family unit and our family setting is so unique to us, and that we need to understand, right, what works for each single person in the household.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot hear you. I don't know if anyone can hear you. Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, no, I can't hear you again. Say something. I think Grace is having some technical issues, but you know what, guys? Are you back now?
I'm back.
Fantastic. Yes. So, just before just hold that thought for a second, please, because Tokwe has come back and she said that when she corrects our son, right? That's where is the message? I'm looking for. See, Falaka is distracting me. She's saying yes. I tell you all the time. So she said, like, when she corrects him of any bad behavior at the moment, and if he feels remorse about it and all of that, then in the next minute is doing the same thing or even worse than he did in the first time.
Okay. So you used the word earlier on about him being an intelligent child. Right? Now, you need to everyone has their mumu button. Okay. And for those that don't know mumu button, everyone knows, everyone has their why for something. So if you've said to, I think the things often we're trying to communicate how we want something to be done, but we want to involve the other party to get a buy into for them to feel a level of importance that this actually concerns me. If you keep spinning the thing of me,
yeah,
I don't care. Sorry, mommy, I'm sorry it hurt you, but I'm gonna go off again. If I'm enjoying that thing I'm doing, I'll do.
Yeah.
So I'll give an example of, I'm trying to think of some of my head now. Oh God. Okay, so my just random one here. So my older daughter, obviously she's 11, and she's having a habit of she would start off something, leave it halfway, start something else, leave it halfway, and just goes off it, run in circles like that. And when you're now on a trail, you're like, you're creating a mess. Now, because I know myself, right, and I think I was able to spot that pattern that she's copying me, or she's picked up something of me. Right? And so what I now do for her is when she's in the middle of something, I let her finish. Or giving her another instruction of what to go and do something else.
Yeah.
But when I've given her an instruction and then she gets distracted, I remind her, because it's not like the child is trying to be mean, right? They're getting caught up in their own moment, just like we as humans. Even just today, she I mean, obviously we had just some decorative things in the house.
You had some romantic something. Don't worry, we've talked about it. Yes. Yeah, guys, sorry, yes, they did. Go on.
Took one of the glass and was playing with it. I'm like, are you like 2-year-old? As in, this thing you're playing with, if you drop it, it breaks. Forget you. I mean, even if you're careful, your younger can come and do the same thing and not get it because she can just drop it because
she's right. Yeah.
And in my head, I just couldn't wrap my head around why she was doing that. And then I said, can you stop doing that? Because she was still getting carried. She was laughing. Miss, stop. What you're doing, you're not listening. Is what you're doing. This is a repercussion of what, in case you're not, and because she's caught up in her own world.
Yeah.
This could go wrong. And if it happens, do you think the person that gave us these things to decorate the house will be happy? No, mommy. Okay, so what do you think you need to do? Wait.
So what I'm hearing is that it's not just enough to say that I told you to stop that. I told you, get out of here. I told you to move that thing away. It is taking that step further to explain why you are saying, do you know, I've always heard this about, oh, you need to explain why. And I'm thinking, oh, please, you're reasoning with 2-year-old. What does the 2-year-old know? But me, I'm too African to be honest, because there's some things I just say that which can get out. And you know, that takes me to one of the comments in the comment section, and it's from PaceSetter77. She said that, and I don't want to miss it because I saw something so she said, I think she said her mom didn't know her till she passed. Do you understand?
She said when I was being bullied because of the way my mom reacted.
No, there was one before that one. There was one she said my mom didn't know who I really was till she passed.
Wow.
That, I saw it and I just don't want to interrupt you, which was why I let you finish, you know. I don't know if, I believe that all the people on this call are parents. Do you understand? Do you know, it is a pain for her mom not knowing who she was, right? And I'm sure if it's true that when you pass on and you're in heaven, maybe you know some things going on the earth or something like that. Maybe even a mom too will be feeling sad.
Yeah.
That she didn't know her child. Do you understand? I'm sure there are some things that I do now that my mom would probably be like, oh wow, I didn't know you could do that. Do you understand? And it's just, so this is something that we as parents, honestly, we need to do better. We're all doing so well. I would never tell a parent you're not doing as much as you should be doing and all of that, you know, because we're all dealing with different things. You have a child that is very calm. You have one that is just outgoing and everything. You know what you're dealing with, and you have to cut yourself some slack as well. And at the same time, make sure you're doing the right thing by your children. So if we don't want our children to go out there and say, oh, my parents did X, Y, Z. They thought they knew everything about me, but they actually didn't know anything. You know, we don't want that. And I want to quickly read some of the comments here,
Yeah.
so we can see. Falaka says that everyone is learning as they go. The best we can do is pick and choose some good parenting tips
Yeah.
as we go along this parenting journey. And it is a journey. Do you understand? Imagine you got married at 25, by 27 you have a child. Please, aren't you, even at 27, are you still not a child yourself? Did you understand? So it's more of, it's only because they say, oh, yeah, in this country, once you're 18, you're an adult. You just do your own thing and all. But being a parent is actually different. Do you understand? It is a journey. And I believe the main thing with journey is how you grow. It's not the outcome. The other day, my mentor was saying to me that, Polani, it's not the outcome that matters. People always focus on the outcome. It is actually the process. It's the process, because the process is what makes you. It's the process that builds the character in you. It's the process and that's the way I see it with our children as well. It's not good enough to say, oh, my child is not a doctor. Oh, my child is not. If you have a child that is a doctor and cannot cook, doesn't know how to respect elders, doesn't know how to doesn't even have anything other than just being a doctor, what's the point of that? So we have to be mindful of that. Peseta said that technology, she was binding the technology. We bind the technology, yes, we had to, yeah. So, and I think she's asked a question to Topa. So, Topa, I don't know if you saw this. She said, is there something else going on with him, like in school? So, because you tell him, don't do this, and then he goes back to do it again. And there's some things that you need to be a bit more aware of, There are things that he needs. Grace touched on this earlier. You said that we should be observant. We should try to observe them. So, try to observe. And, paying attention to your children is actually very key. So that when there is a change in them, in any form or shape, whether it's in the communication or in the behavior or whatnot, you are able to tell immediately.
Yep.
Right? So there's another question here from Momsi Mali. She said, how can she stop screaming at them? Please, it is also my own question. Let me add my own question to it. How can she stop screaming at them? She said she's into the habit, let's just say, we are into the habit of screaming at the slightest provocation.
Yeah.
And they are beginning to scream back at me now. I have 3 of them under 7. The Lord is your strength, my sister. But yes, so how can we stop screaming at them?
Whenever you feel like screaming or something is bothering you to the point that you want to scream, count 1 to 5 in your head.
Okay. 1 to 5. So before you scream, right?
Yeah. And obviously this needs to take practice.
Yeah.
I've been through that motion as well. So if I haven't been through them, and I'm not saying you get there overnight. You will have slip-ups. If you know in your heart of hearts it's something you want to stop doing and you want to engage in a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Count 1 to 5. Out of the room and come back. Not 1, 2, 5. Is no. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you for So yes.
I'm sure we're not throwing shades here right now. We are not. We're just being very spiritual and straightforward. Yes. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it's not 1, 2, and then 5.
5, yeah.
So yes, thank you. Yes, we can hear. We are hearing. So both of us, we are hearing both of us had the question. So we are both hearing, and some other people too that didn't ask the question or that wanted to ask, but we asked before them. So yes, so we should count 1. So if Joanne Lucy was doing something and I want to scream, I should just do what? But before the 5, she would have done whatever it is that she wanted to do in the first place.
So now there's also place for caution. So are you screaming to tell off, or you're screaming to avert danger?
No, my own is avert danger. I'm a risk manager, so I'm always looking. Yeah.
Because sometimes even when you scream, you can frighten the child even at that point in time.
Oh yeah.
You just have to measure it and think of what is the best thing at that point in time. Am I overreacting? So if it's just that she's going bump her, she's going to, I don't know, I know bumping her head is not something trivial, because it could really go wrong, right? But there's a way you would mention her name with being assertive without you shouting.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the things one of the in our teacher training, without you having to shout. Okay, so you reach for the bottom from your belly. Joanne Lucy, there's a depth in your voice.
Oh God.
Right? That gives the child like that sounds different. You're not sure, but you've changed the pitch, the depth of your voice. At the decibels 100.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, please, like
yeah, that's so true.
You just laugh and run or go and.
Of course, yeah.
So, but if you say assertiveness, but with a bit of more depth and grit to your voice, that would stop them. But more so, it's more to distract them from where they are. It just says it's work in progress.
It is honestly. I know it's not the easiest thing, you know. Like we say, most times we don't want to. It's not like you want to scream at them or just shout for nothing, right? For me, I'm always like, hey, don't eat your head there, go back, and all of that. But I know, and for me, I got that thing about, you know, just shouting or screaming from the depth of just changing the tone, because it is important for them to know when you are actually trying to avert danger,
as opposed to where
you're just screaming like you normally scream. Do you understand? And you don't want them to get used to it. So I am learning this as well, and I'm trying to practice it as much as possible, because as we said, it is not easy. But you know, for me, the first step to change is awareness. And then once you are aware, if you can accept it, that yes, this is an issue for me, I need to work on it, then you can see that you start to move up and things will start looking great. So thank you for that. I'm trying to go into the comments again to see if there are any other questions. I mean, people have said, oh, you'd be surprised how much your children will share if you bring them. I think Pacesetter said, all children want someone who will listen. Yep. It's as simple as that. So I am practicing that with my 4-year-old, you know, that she will come home, she'll say, Mommy, I want to tell you something. So before she started school, she said, I want to tell you something. What are you saying? You know, because you couldn't really understand what she was saying. And then, but now when she says, oh, I want to tell you something, I'll say to her, okay, yeah, come, what is it? It might not make any sense. And sometimes it will make sense. Do you understand? But I am purposely, you know, listening and saying, okay, I want to listen to you. What is it that you've got to say? And sometimes she will just say something that'll be funny. Or she just, ha ha ha, Mommy, I'll just play with you. Bye. You know, something like that. Do you know? So yeah, it is so important. I'm trying to see here what we've got. Someone said a simple oath can get your child to open up to you. Words like I love you goes a long way. Yeah, I'm teaching my children to say I love you, Mommy, I love you, Daddy. You know, these things that growing up, I love you, Mommy, I love you, Daddy. My parents were not like that, you know, so it's not anything that we did growing up, you know, but doesn't mean that I can't let my children have that, because I know what it means, you know, to get them to understand that place of I love you and that.
I'm sorry to cut you, darling. Tokwe is asking still, is there anything she can do to help him stop the behavior? So what I would ask, Tokwe, if you can send me a DM, I'll do my tarot model tracking sheet. It's where you track the trigger, action that he's doing, so his behavior, that would be the action, so how you responded, and the outcome after. So what did he do after you responded? So if you track that for the first week, then you then reflect upon what's happened in those times. And I put times in the day as well. So if your day starts from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 in the evening, whatever, you can adjust it and then track what time of the day, because it could be it could be anything. Now, when you you've tracked what could be the trigger, why he's doing what he's doing, you can then reflect upon it. They have a chat on what strategies we could put in place. Send me a can talk through that, because
Thank you.
I mean, it's because we're having a straight chat here now. It's quite hard to drill down. I could say
Yeah.
things and it could mean nothing to you. But
And
if
you know what, Grace? I like that because, you know, as we've said, children are different.
Yeah.
And when it comes to things like this, I don't really go with all these generic things about, oh, this is what children are, da, 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 da. If I had a child that I couldn't handle for whatever reason, I would probably just want to go have a one-to-one kind of one-on-one conversation with maybe someone like yourself, you know, because this is your field, this is what you do. Do you understand? And go about, who is this child? What is their personality like, you know? And all of these things are what will help you to kind of decide whether, oh, this child has this or not. Yes, KG, I know you're not the patient one. Thank God for grace in your life. I actually do know that, you know, and that's the thing. It's it is amazing. These children, God has given them to us, you know, and we need to know that if we want them to be the best that they can be, it has to start from how we also look after them. You know, I don't let anyone label my child. I wouldn't label my child. I wouldn't label anyone's child or children, you know. I just say that they are who they are, you know. They are who they are. I have one that is as calm as anything, but can also be as whatever. And I have the other one who's not. And it's just like you look at this one and you say, oh, this is me, oh, Jesus, you know. But at the end of the day, I haven't turned out badly in the end, you know. So it's a case of just accepting that this is the child that you've got, and how I handle the first is not the way I will handle the second. Do you understand? So my husband was saying to me the other day, he said, oh, before we would say that, oh, see, your sister has just done this, why are you doing that and everything? And we heard a guy, I think it was on the Thrivers group, the guy came and was talking about parenting and all. And we said, okay, guy, we need to stop saying this. We can't be saying, oh, your sister has just done this, why are you still eating now? You should have finished your food and all of that. Because that's where it starts from. You start to compare them. You start to make them feel like, oh, is there something my sister is doing that I'm not doing? So parents, honestly, guys, this conversation, we can keep going on for a long time. And I don't want us to stay on for too long because already, honestly, I really, really, really do appreciate you all for coming back on. I mean, we'll be on for an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half. That is so, so good. Thank you all so much. Grace, you know, I mean, guys, if you want to reach out to Grace, but yes, I'll get our IG handle to you. I'll send that to you on via DM, so you can contact her. KG, please help me to put Grace's IG handle in the comment section as well for anyone. I mean, Grace will be tagged on this video anyway. So if anyone wants to reach out to her, you just want to have a conversation with her, you just want a consultation, basically, just to go through a few things. Because as I said, she is an educator, she is a coach, a parenting coach. So she will tell you things that you know as a parent yourself that, okay, maybe you just need to do better in these areas. And if you want to work, I always say that as long as we're open to learning, no one is perfect. We are not perfect. We're all learning this. We're all going through the same journey. You just need to understand that you have children, whether you have one, you have two, you have three, you have four, you have six. They all have different personalities. And we need Grace to be able to deal with them according to their individual personalities. That is the key thing. So, guys, thank you so, so, so very much. At this point, I'd like to tell you, next week, Saturday, I know this is like normally on Conversations with BBJ, we come on live every other week, so every 2 weeks. But, you know, there's been a topic going around in this period, and it's on miscarriages in women. You know, like the miscarriages and how we react to it, how we respond to it, how we deal with it, you know, and how people try to keep it quiet and not want to discuss it. But, you know, this lady, she's been on Conversations with BBJ before, and I'm sure if you watch that episode on the waist trainers, she was the one. Wellness Abby is going to be back with me next week, Saturday, same time, 7:30 p.m. to discuss, you know, this miscarriages. I mean, I don't know what the topic will be for now, so I'll tell you when the topic is out. But honestly, guys, if you can join, please do join us to have this conversation. And I'm hoping that by the grace of God, you know, all of these things, you know, we just need to become a lot more open about the challenges we're facing, about the issues of life. You know, no one gets it right 100%. At every point in time, we want to do the right thing. And the right thing, doing the right thing is always the right thing to do. That's what one of my pastors would say to us. Doing the right thing is the right thing to do. So if you're doing the right thing by looking for information to help you, you know, to help in this journey of parenting and all of that, it's so good. So ladies, so be on the lookout for the details of that conversation next week. And Grace, I don't know if you have any final words for our viewers tonight. They have been fantastic. They have engaged us so very much, both on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you guys so much. Grace, any words from you?
If anything, like I've said before, is just be patient and observe. And also, you need to know that on this journey of parenting, yourself first, and understand your family setting, and that's a good starting point. If you've not to think and chart the course for your family and what you would like it to be like, it becomes for all. Anyone can do anything. You will get irritated by something that nobody else is seeing. Your child doesn't understand your expectations from them, and neither does your husband if you're married or whatever the case, or whatever your family dynamics are. But once you guys come together as a unit and understand each person's weaknesses and how you can help them navigate and have strategies through that, you will be having, what's the word I'm looking for? You are on to winning, and much more. You will see things in a whole different perspective. So start with your mind. No, it's not a half empty cup, it's a half full cup. You're doing what you can, you're progressing, you're learning, you know, like I said before, you pick what works for your family and what doesn't work. But start with writing a vision first of what desire in your home, and educate children to know what you need or what works for you, what makes you tick. And as you're on a team, year-old in your house to your 50-year-old husband or 50, everyone in that household is a team. And if you see that everyone comes to the table to play, everyone comes to the table with something to give, that's half one, in my opinion. Yeah. And then be patient, observe, and be willing to learn.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you. God bless
you for having me.
See?
Bless you.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, Grace, thank you. So glad to have you here with us. Thank you so much. I'm sure you've learned. Just for me, the key words here tonight has been observation and patience. You know, observation and patience. And I always have post-it notes that I put on my screen. You know, I'm going to put it there so that every single time my children walks in, because I work right in this room, and every time, even though they've got their playroom, they come in every now and then, and I'm so quick to just turn around and come out, you know. So I want to be able to calm down when I do that, because even sometimes I'm on the call, you know, I'm talking at work, and my friend will tell me that, but even at work, they know that you're working from home, you have children, so they will come and for me, it's like my line of thought at that time, especially if I'm chairing a meeting or something, you know, it's like I don't need any distraction. But guys, there is absolutely nothing like, you know, just being patient with their children, observing them. And at this point, you know me, I'm a woman of faith. I'll pray for you. If there's anyone on this platform tonight who is still trusting God for the fruit of the womb, you know, you're not just going to hear this for nothing. By the grace of God, very soon, you will join that group of mothers, you know, that will be asking questions about your children as well, in Jesus' name. So thank you all very much. God bless you. God bless you. Don't forget, next week, Saturday, same time, 7:30 p.m., we'll be discussing miscarriages, you know, in women, you know. So I don't know what the topic is, as I said, but I'm bringing back Nurse Abby to discuss this. So guys, thank you so very much. I love you all so much. I feel like I shouldn't end this conversation. Grace, please help me to wish Mr. Duplex a happy birthday again. So the party continues after the conversation. So they had a very, guys, actually, let me let you into the secrets. They had a very nice, they sent the girls away had a very romantic dinner. You should have seen their house, the way they decorated. And I didn't know that this girl that is talking, parents. She sent her own children out of her house so that she can have time with her husband. Can you imagine? But honestly, love you guys. Well done. Happy birthday to Mr. Flat again. Yes, Grace, thank you. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for staying tuned. God bless you all. I'll just keep going and be rambling like this. So let's just go now. Thank you all. I will see you again next week. God bless you. Bye, Grace. Love you, girl. Bye. Thank you all. Thank you. See, I don't want to just end it. I want people to drop off so I can end it. But yeah, thank you. I'm gonna end Facebook now because I know Grace is still on Facebook. But yes, thank you guys. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.